What do we got here? Oh, angry grandma. Yeah, show that grandma video. I want to see that. She took care of business, huh?
She took care of business.
Man, love it.
You could say that.
Good for her. People.
Man, this is a story breaking. Matt Gaetz calling on the Weaponization Subcommittee to immediately launch an investigation into O'Keefe Media Group's bombshell report containing video evidence that American intelligence agencies withheld intelligence from President Donald Trump before and during his presidency and used FISA authorities to spy on him. Wow. James O'Keefe at it again.
Well, that's a nice story. I like that story.
Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on Wednesday night. I had to think about that one for a second. Slick Rick is here.
Cousin Humper
He's
Day.
got sports.
Come
What?
on. It's Cousin Humper Day.
Yeah, it is.
Come on.
Cousin Humper Day. That's right. For the people in the Getter Chat. The Getter Chat. Get her done. I got to get over there and say hi.
I said hello.
What was it? Oh, that's right. So we were talking about the, if you were with us in the last segment, talking about the grandmother. Mm-hmm. This is a story that came out of New Mexico, where this woman, grandma, kind of a good-looking grandma too. You'd be surprised because normally you get a picture of grandma, like Granny, but no, this grandma is fairly young.
She's a gilf.
She looks like a goa. Anyhow, well, she went and she's a goer, right? She went and go and get her gun, and it took on this intruder. We've got it's a news report featuring the audio of the confrontation with the guy just after he breaks into the house and everything that happens afterwards. And of course, a little bit of the news report on the assailant, on the intruder afterwards. This is cut number 4. Check this out.
Get back! Get back! I have a gun! Get back! Get back! I will
She shot him.
What did you do?
Because you're in my house!
I knew I was the only thing between me and my granddaughter.
Tenon then tells the suspect she'll help him.
I will get you water, but if you hurt me, I'm going to shoot you again.
And I held pressure on his wound.
This woman, who did everything she could to protect her granddaughter, turns her attention now to the man who just moments before threatened her.
God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Tenon begs the dispatcher for help.
Oh, God, this is not happening. Where are the police?
This is a terrifying situation.
Officer, please. Hands up, hands up, hands up.
Minutes later, officers move in, dragging Rivetta out.
I do believe we had a guardian angel here with us, and I do.
Yeah, it's called Smith & Wesson.
Exactly.
Firmly believe that God was watching over us.
Rivetta is now facing a long list of charges on top of his lengthy rap sheet.
Listen to his rap sheet.
I would like for him to be held to the fullest extent. I absolutely do not want the DA's office giving him a plea deal.
Oh, God.
He belongs in jail.
Tenon's granddaughter is struggling from that night. Megan is her mother.
She's scared of the dark and not like normal 4-year-olds. She won't walk down hallways that are dark by herself.
Kid was 4.
When a 4-year-old is asking you if the doors are locked at night and if the alarm is set, I'm just so proud of Anissa. It couldn't have played out better given the circumstances, and it could have been a lot worse.
And I think that when you're faced with a decision of protecting your family, you do what you have to do.
Rivera was back in court today where a judge finally ordered him to remain behind bars. Rivera had a warrant out for his arrest after police say in July he was found passed out in a stolen car. But even with 5 previous felony convictions, a judge released him days later.
Convictions.
Then he failed to appear in
charges.
court. He was arrested again in September and released again. He didn't appear in court in October. Yet, when he was arrested, he was released again. He has been on the run since and now faces more burglary and car theft charges. Judge Joseph Montano ordered Rivera to stay behind bars.
Yeah. So congratulations to that grandma. Anissa Tinen is her name, from Albuquerque.
Incredible.
Yeah, she was just trying to have a nice evening with her 4-year-old granddaughter, enjoing a little
I
Taylor
hadn't
Swift.
heard about that story. That was the first I've seen it. That's incredible.
And the fact that afterwards, and you heard it on the 911 call, that she actually, she did say, if you try to hurt me, I'm going to shoot you again. Yeah. But she didn't try to help the guy that she had just shot. So, anytime people say, oh, what do you need guns for? That's why you need a gun. Because it's not for so you can use it. It's because you don't want to get to the point where you don't have it in case of a situation like that. Sometimes just the old will be enough to scare somebody out the door.
Yep.
So congratulations to her. I'm glad she and her granddaughter are okay. Unfortunately, as you heard from the girl's mom, the poor kid is traumatized by this whole thing. 4 years old. She's
well, sure.
She's checking to see if doors are locked, if the alarms are set. 4-year-olds shouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right.
Who knows what the guy would have did?
Yeah, exactly.
What was the intent?
Right. He's already got 5 felony convictions. He doesn't feel like there's anything that can stop him. Obviously.
Yeah. I don't know. Was it a home? Obviously it was a home invasion, but was he trying to rob them? What was his intent?
Yeah, we don't know. So
there you go.
Luckily, we're not going to know. And
thank God.
They've got him finally put in jail. Let's switch gears. Let's change it up. Let's see what's going on the scoreboard. Slick Rick is here with sports. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Save yourself some money. Get a free T-shirt. Slick, what do you got for us?
Okay, well, a hotly contested Game 5 in Dallas right now. The Stars and Golden Knights tied at 2. Golden Knights trying to, somebody's trying to get the edge here. Golden Knights certainly don't want to fall 3-2, and neither do the Stars. So 12 minutes to go there. In the second, we'll keep an eye on that. Kings and Oilers coming up at 10. We obviously be off the air by the time that game starts. Celtics taking care of business, 68-46 at the half, leading Miami and their home, looking to close out that series. Looks like the Celtics are moving on, and for the next round. Mavs and Clippers, that's coming up at 10 p.m. as well. And I want to get to a couple of stories I got to get to, but I definitely want to get to this story. Some nice news about what sports can do. 76ers owners gifting 2,000 playoff tickets to Philly's first responders and local communities. Absolutely cannot let the Knicks fans take over our arena again. There's an agenda here. Fox News.
Exactly. I was going to say, definitely an agenda, not just, we appreciate you. We don't want to get drowned out in our own home.
I know. So the Philadelphia 76ers are making sure they have a true home court advantage after a wild victory over the New York Knicks on Tuesday night to keep their season alive. 76ers co-owners Josh Harris, David Blitzer, and David Adelman, along with Fanatics CEO Michael Rubin, purchased 2,000 tickets to Thursday's Game 6 in Philadelphia. These guys, that's like tip money at the dry cleaner. Right. The tickets will be distributed to first responders, healthcare professionals, community groups, and other Philadelphia-based organizations. Anybody they can get, Chamber of Commerce, right. Knights of Columbus. In a statement, the team said the tickets will be given to harness the intensity of excitement for tomorrow night's crucial showdown with the New York Knicks. Sixers star Joel Embiid turned heads when he said he was disappointed that Knicks fans had seemingly taken over Wells Fargo Center in Game 4. So Rubin wanted to keep the home court event. I can't remember the last time the Knicks fans traveled anywhere. So I guess they're getting excited, but not recent, not of late.
I think it's happened before. It's at 76ers games, haven't it? Hasn't it, where it's been kind of 50-50?
Listen,
because it is so close, like you said.
From Manhattan, it's an hour and a half. So
right.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. But I haven't really seen them travel like that. But tomorrow night should be very interesting, to say the least. But we'll be here. We'll be here with the game live. So don't worry, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Plus, you got the people in New Jersey. They really don't have a team because the Nets left.
Well, the Nets left. They went to Brooklyn.
So it's either Philly or New York.
Exactly.
So you probably got a bunch of Knicks fans coming over from Jersey too.
Probably. And one other story, Rick. Transgender athlete to compete in National Women's Water Polo Championship.
Why?
Yeah, Paul Boy of Breitbart. A transgender athlete will compete in the National Women's Polo Championship at Texas A&M University this weekend. According to Redux, Alicia Pons, formerly Johnny, will appear at the 2024 National Collegiate Water Polo Championships, which will be held from May 3rd to May 5th at Texas A&M University. Pons is expected to compete on the University of Michigan's Women's Club Water Polo team. The club's official Instagram account recently named Pons as a Player of the Week, boasting that he is also a state chess champion in the women's category. You hear what I just said?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
At least they got that straight. At least they're calling it what it is.
Yeah. They got the pronouns correct.
Yep, he, him, there, out of here. That's a rapid sports.
All right, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com, use LFS6B at checkout. Send us the receipt. Prove that you used our code at checkout. We'll send you a free T-shirt, Trump T-shirt, now until, I guess, we change shirts, whatever we're going to do. I don't know, but that's hour number one. There you go. All right, Slick, back with sports in the next hour. Also, hopefully we'll be being joined by Damon from his home studio. And I got some wild stuff coming out from James O'Keefe coming up. Stay there. All right, we're in the break. Slick.
All right, here we go.
I'm going to try and play this James O'Keefe thing. Let me just see if I can preview it real quick. What?
That's something funny in the chat. I'll tell you after. I had to respond to. That grandma story was pretty intense, huh?
Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yep. Gun control, huh? Yeah, okay. Thank you. Yeah, that was gun control, all right. She was good, though. Good person, compassionate, good heart. Boy, people are loving this story about the transgender playing in the water polo. Boy,
oh, really?
Plenty of jokes on that. But, I mean, you know, it's just... And I'll tell you, Breitbart's the only person that reports it. I don't know who else, you know, probably Gateway Pundit has some stories, but
yeah.
You know, you're not seeing it in the mainstream.
Well, no, they don't want to talk about it, because if they talk about it, then they bring attention to it and more people get pissed off.
Right.
Because they know it's a bunch of horse shit.
Yeah.
No, I just went through the first 2 minutes and there's none, so I figure we'll just use that. All Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Wednesday night. Dish Network Channel 219, Pluto TV Channel 470, 1029, and Samsung TV Plus. Also Distro TV, as well as the Roku channel. You can check out the show on all those platforms as well. Join us on social media, getting the bugs worked out. It went up and down 2 times last hour, and Aaron and Fran have, of course, they've righted the ship, and
as usual.
Yeah, exactly. Got us back up so everybody can see us and join us in the chats, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, the Getter chat, Getter done, and where else are we? Am I missing anybody? Oh, the Rumble.
Let's get rid of Rumble.
Yes, exactly. So if you're in those chats, welcome. We'll try and get to them as often as we can. Tough to do sometimes, especially when there's only 2 of us here. Slick.
Yep.
Slick has got some more sports we'll be getting to in just a little bit. We should be joined by Damon a little bit later on throughout maybe even this segment, or maybe throughout the show. We'll see what happens.
Threat we hear.
That's what he keeps claiming. In the meantime, though, some great stuff that we came across today. I don't know because let's face it, Donald Trump not in court today. So he flew out, I guess, last night. Michigan and Wisconsin, right, were the 2 stops for the rallies that he held. Right. David Zier was on the ground in Wisconsin for the Trump rally there. We've already played a clip from that. But also, what's interesting is more news coming out today about the Florida case. Now, the Florida case has kind of gone into, I want to say it's kind of quieted down, but not really. There's stuff going on between the judge releasing some unredacted documents that that Jack Smith had tried to keep redacted, try to keep hidden, evidence that he didn't want exposed to show how what's the word for it? How crappy his case is, because it's
nice
basically
way to put it.
It's basically they're just trying to frame him for something that they did.
Of course.
And Kash Patel was on the X22 report earlier today doing an interview with Dave over there, and had some revelations about the Trump case. And we talked about a little bit, I mentioned a little bit about it the other day in news, where some of these redacted documents are showing the collusion between the Biden administration within the first couple months of him getting into office and the weasels, the liberal Democrats taking control of everything, and the swamp starting to kind of dig in and try and find some way to persecute Trump.
Of course. And
some of it was exposed where they redacted it and showed how narrow the people that are in charge of the records, the National Archives, started colluding with the Biden administration almost from day one.
Wow.
Like they were on it. They were setting up meetings. They were trying to figure out things to do. There were 6 pallets of documents that were sitting in a warehouse, I believe in Virginia, that, the president didn't take with him, but that NARA had control of. And they said, you got to come and get these.
Yep.
But they end up shipping them to them. So here's what Kash Patel had to say about some other revelations for the Trump's document case that's going on out of Florida right now. Here's cut number 2, Kash Patel. Check this out.
But in the search warrant that was unredacted, that may be the most shocking piece of information, because I was named in that search warrant. And of course, the DOJ unredacted just my name, but everything else afterwards was redacted. So it make the media go nuts about, oh my God, Kash Patel. And they finally unredacted the next paragraph, and it turned out to be details of a publicly printed Breitbart article, which was not classified or sensitive information at all. But it gets way, way worse. Julie Kelly's reporting on this is quite stunning. The Biden DOJ and the Biden Government Service Administration actually had boxes of Donald Trump's papers after Trump led the administration in their possession. And then they told Donald Trump's representatives at Mar-a-Lago to come pick up these boxes. Then Jack Smith charged Donald Trump with illegal possession of classified information from what was in those boxes. I mean, you literally can't make this stuff up.
Man.
It's not even entrapment, because it's worse. They literally said it's okay for government agents to possess illegally classified information. So let's call the culprit we want to pin this to, Donald Trump, Let's have them pick up the documents, and in transport, we will magically make them illegal for Donald Trump to possess. Wow. This kind of information and this kind of shocking details of this prosecution is what's most disturbing to me. And, you know, I've always asked this, and I continue to do so. Why hasn't Congress? You want accountability? The only lever we have is Republican majority in the House. Where are your subpoenas? Like, none of this has been responded to by the Republican majority in Congress.
Yeah, and you know that's something. You know, I always make the argument these hearings that people are like, oh, they go nowhere, are great to get this information out. Whether they ever prosecute, because they'll never prosecute their own. That's just the way these swamp creatures are, right, Slick?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're never gonna prosecute their own buddies, their own pals, their own people, because
Old Boys Network.
Yeah, because they know they all got something on each other.
True.
But it turns out now, as you hear Kash Patel, friend of the show, by the way.
Yes.
He's been on. Talk about, you know, finding out this coming out of the Florida case, the Jack Smith Florida case, documents case, Judge Eileen Cannon. Now we get breaking from Matt Gaetz. This evening.
He said that.
Just before showtime, this happened. Matt Gaetz, breaking. I'm formally calling on the Weaponization Subcommittee to immediately launch an investigation into the O'Keefe Media Group's bombshell report containing video evidence, listen to this, that the American intelligence agencies that fall under the executive branch, right? He's their boss.
Yep.
Withheld intelligence information from President Donald Trump before and during so while he was president, the people that are supposed to give him intelligence so he can help do his job, whether it be the country safe, make policy decisions, what have you, they were withholding information on purpose during his presidency and used the FISA, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, authorities to spy on the president. He sent a very tersely worded letter to the Honorable Jim Jordan calling for this investigation, citing the work of James O'Keefe, the undercover journalist of the O'Keefe Media Group, project manager working for cyber operations for the CIA and the NSA, contractor with top clearances. The footage contains evidence that American intelligence agencies withheld intelligence from President Donald Trump before and during his presidency and used the FISA to spy on the president and may be still doing it today. Given the Select Subcommittee on Weaponization, the federal government has broad jurisdiction to investigate the role of executive branch agencies investigating American citizens. Any unconstitutional, illegal, or unethical activities committed by said agencies, like the CIA, like the NSA, I'm formally requesting that the subcommittee open a formal investigation into the concerning activities allegedly perpetrated by the intelligence community against President Trump, as exhibited in the video presented by James O'Keefe and the O'Keefe Media Group. Now, I've got a clip of it. About 2 minutes worth.
Okay.
And again, it's the old honeypot thing, right?
Yep.
O'Keefe is great at this. If he's not going to do it,
he's the master.
If he's not going to do it himself, he'll hire someone who will do it. And next thing you know, because these guys love to talk.
Oh yeah,
that's one of the things.
They think they're out on a date. They think, they relax themselves.
They're going to brag.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to work on her, man. She's going to be swoon. I'll do whatever I want. Yeah, exactly. So check this out. This is coming from just dropped a little while ago. O'Keefe Media Group. Amjad Anton Faisi. Yeah, we want somebody like this in the CIA.
Nice Irish name.
Yeah, exactly. Check this out.
I work at the CIA. I do cyber operations. I've been doing it for a long time.
So how long have you been working at the CIA?
Since 2008.
Okay.
I also worked at NSA though. And then I have a TSSCI with a full scope polygraph. That means that I'm fully vetted.
Amjad Faisi shows her his CIA identification badge.
So where does it say?
See? Got a brag.
That's the point.
That's the point.
What's CMC?
China Mission Center, darling. That's my mission center.
Gotcha.
Amjad talks about how the CIA kept information from Trump.
Like working.
We kept information from him.
Say one more time.
We kept information from him.
From Trump?
Yes. He's an idiot. And there are certain people that would give him a high-level overview, but never give it any details. Do you know why? His whole leak those details.
Amjad Fasisi states the higher-ups within the intel community, including CIA directors Mike Pompeo and Gina Haspel, and the upper levels of their staffs colluded to withhold information from sitting President Trump.
So the agency's kind of...
Now I'm going to pause it there because keep in mind, everybody loved Mike Pompeo, right? I never heard many people say bad things about him. But now you're starting to find out, again, this swamp, this blob that they call it, it's far and it's wide and it's deep. And these are the people that Trump put into place. He put Mike Pompeo in that position. He put Gina Haspel. He elevated her into that position. And this is how they work. They don't care.
Yep.
Because it's almost
all
like
got together and said, we're not going to tell Trump.
The higher-ups.
The higher-ups.
We put it this way, the executive staff, we're talking about the director and his subordinates.
Like, what titles are they? They're
Director of the CIA.
Director of the CIA would keep...
Yes.
Are you guys still watching him?
I would say yes.
Like, it sounds like you guys are still watching him and his team.
Of course we are. Nothing goes by without somebody watching.
Amjad Fasisi also states as fact that Trump is under constant surveillance and even claims they are spying on his ex-wife.
And we also have people that monitors his ex-wife.
So you guys had human sources.
How do you think we get information?
Like wiretapping? Is that what?
Steal it.
How did...
boom.
Oh, this guy
There you go. I mean, you can't make it up.
He's reckless. Wow.
This is remarkable. Not right. As Slick said, the guy's reckless.
He is.
Because I'm sure he's not supposed to be. You work for the CIA, the NSA. They probably tell you, don't even share this stuff with your family. But here he is.
Out on a date or whatever, yeah.
With somebody he barely knows.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? Maybe I'll get lucky if I tell her that I'm James Bond.
He's got those eyes.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. He's a dirtbag. Just a complete dirtbag.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the girl's probably 20 years younger than him, too.
Right. So there you have it. That story just breaking again. Matt Gaetz is calling for the subcommittee on weaponization to immediately launch an investigation based on this bombshell report from O'Keefe Media Group. It just broke just before showtime. It's amazing. And again, another great job by James O'Keefe, getting these people and just exposing it all. Whether it goes anywhere, I don't know. But like I said, Damon, it's great when this information comes out because the more people see it, the more they share it, the more they know these people cannot be trusted.
Yep.
O'Keefe put out an update about 30 minutes ago, too. He said, spokesperson at the CIA gives me a statement saying that the program manager at the Chinese Mission Center caught on tape talking about the higher-ups withholding information from President Trump is no longer working at the CIA.
I'm sure as soon as they found out.
Pink slip.
Yeah. As soon as they found out, hey, you know what? You know how we watch everything? We watched you get busted. You're fired.
Yeah, you got a pink slip, all right.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll join Damon, get his update, do some more sports with Slick Rick. Stay there, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. And we're in the chat. What's happening there, Dave?
Yeah, I'll try one. LSU
What's up,
Patriot.
boys?
Hey, Big D. LSU Patriot says, say hello to Aaron and Fran. So Aaron and Fran, LSU Patriot 8 in Getter Chat says hello.
Hi.
Hey.
They're just trying to get their name out there so when they do calls tomorrow, you pick up their call for Harry.
Somebody else in the chat asked, how can I talk to Aaron? I said, you can't.
She don't want to talk to anybody. She doesn't want to talk to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Damon's back just in time for the read.
Perfect timing.
Who wants to do it?
I'll do it. What is it?
That's Virtual.
Oh, his favorite.
Who wants to talk?
Sound Like the Blues.
Oh,
right
now
there.
she comes running out. Who wants to talk?
That was the original Sounds Like the Blues. Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you. And Aaron, she's right on the spot.
She's on it.
Giving Slick Rick a little cough drop here. Halls of.
What do you got? A cold slick?
You know, I think it's allergies, Big D. I'm not sure. I can't quite figure it out. But I woke up with a cough the other day, and I'm just trying to champion through here if I can.
Come on, Slick, get that ivermectin going.
Oh yeah, come on, send it over. I'll rub it on my chest.
You don't rub up.
I'm pretty sure that's not how you use that.
I'm going for the paste.
I'm pretty sure that's not how it works.
I'm going for the paste, Big D.
You want the paste?
I want the paste, man. I'm not horsing. I'm not horsing around here.
Just a pinch between your cheek and gums will do you fine.
Oh yeah, Walt Garrison, the late great Walt Garrison, former Dallas Cowboy, passed away last year.
All right, too much information already.
Well, the reality is, TMI.
I mean, do you want me to do the read, Delgado, or do you want to do it since you're obviously leading the way?
You love doing it.
No, we need you to take over the show, Big D. Bring us home.
Yeah, go ahead. Bring us home.
Bring us home.
Wow, and I said you guys are doing fine.
I need a break. All this show prepping during the show is taking it out of me.
Yeah, you're getting like Paul Nolan.
I saw Paul Nolan jumped in the text chat today.
Which one? The sausage Nolan or the real Nolan?
No, the real one.
Oh, and what? In the chat tonight?
Yeah. No. On our, on your phone.
The show text.
I missed it. I don't look at that stuff during the day. Too busy.
Come on, Slick.
Come on,
Lock
man.
in.
Lock in. More like loaded.
Lock it up.
I'm lock and loaded.
Lock it up, man.
I haven't had a good drink in a couple of days.
Damon, we played Cash Patel, friend of the show.
Oh, yeah. He's a friend of the show. David
He's a
Zier,
friend of the show.
David Zier ran into some fans.
Wow, sound like the blues on a Wednesday night. Let me talk to you about our friends over at Birch Gold. Can your savings weather an economic storm? Well, think about what you've put away for the future. Inflation can render your cash worthless. Real estate can crash like it did back in 2008. Economies built on a mountain of debt can fall like a house of cards. Well, that sounds like pretty much like the situation we're in. There are very few physical assets you can invest in that stand the test of time. Gold has withstood as a valued form of money for a millennia. It's why people are flocking to it now and why Birch Gold is busier than ever. Through a little-known tax loophole, Birch Gold lets you convert a retirement account into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. And the best part is it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket. To learn more, text America to 989898 and claim your free information kit on gold. And I'll ask you again, can your IRA or 401k weather an economic storm that could be coming? If not, call the people I trust, Birch Gold. Text America to 989898 and secure your savings today with physical gold and silver from Birch Gold. 18 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Want to thank the guys for trucking along without me. My son was just inducted to the National Honor Society, which is a great honor.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Proud of him. Worked very hard to get there. And thankfully, he's not following in my high school footsteps, and he's doing his own thing. So good for him.
Yeah, because you turned out great.
Yeah, well, there was no National Honor Society induction for me, unfortunately. But, well, what can you do?
I think the mother's a smart one in the family. That's what I think.
Yeah. He gets all of his good traits, believe me, from his mother.
No doubt.
But no, he's worked hard to get there. So it was nice, and they kept it reasonably short.
Well, they
nice group of kids, actually. It wasn't like, like everybody.
Oh, good.
Whatever the standard is to get in. It was a nice group of, I don't know, probably 70 or so that made it. So it was a nice little ceremony. And it was nice. So proud of him. He did a great job.
It kind of dilutes it when the whole class gets it. It's like, got a class of 400. Everybody made it. It doesn't really make it special.
No.
Yeah, no, you got to meet the criteria or whatever it is. So
Right.
he was happy. So it was nice.
Well, that's good.
Well, speaking of the Birch Gold read, I don't know if you guys addressed the Federal Reserve today.
No, we didn't. We waited on you.
No move.
FOMC meeting, and no move, which is people making a thing of that he was going to raise rates today. I think was a little premature. I mean, listening to him today, the thing you take away from it is every week that goes by, every month that goes by, the chances of us having a real downturn in the economy get greater and greater. And as much as he thinks there's lagging inflation data that's going to help inflation continue to come down, mostly in the rent real estate, that area, which I agree with. The lags there are just, you can't make up for the lags you get in owner's equivalent rent and things like that from where they were to where they are now. But, so they didn't raise rates, and I don't think the next move they make will be to raise rates. I think they will be to cut rates, but I think it's going to be a lot longer than some of us thought it would be. I think it's going to be higher for longer, and I still think we may get one, maybe two. But the thing I was thinking about today, as I was listening to him talk, was that, and then listening to all the talking heads afterwards, and I was listening to every one of them that I could find, CNBC to Bloomberg to my guy Meet Kevin and all of them, is none of them consider the fact that when Donald Trump wins, they can take all their models of where interest rates are going to be and where everything and where the dollar is going to be and throw it out the window. Because if you remember when he was in 2016 to 2020, rates were effectively zero, and he wanted the Fed to cut rates again. So
right, they were.
There's been a couple stories floating around in the Wall Street Journal that the Trump team is already kind of war planning some ideas on what to do with the Fed, with the actual entity, the Fed, and then of course with the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. Hopefully doing something with the SEC would be on his list, like firing Gary Gensler on day one, hopefully. That would be the first two things. But, I mean, if I read President Trump correctly, I think President Trump obviously likes the dollar being the world reserve currency, but I don't necessarily think he likes the DXY being at 106. I think a little weaker dollar in the way the DXY is calculated against this basket of other currencies, which right now the dollar is extremely, extremely strong at 106 or in change right now. When President Trump was in office before, it was around 88, 90, somewhere in there. I think he'd like to see it back around there. I think he'd like to see a weaker dollar. And I don't think he would mind inflation burning a little hotter than 2% that the Fed wants. So I think all of these people today listening to the Fed going, well, we may not get a rate cut till December. Well, yeah, you may not, but if things go the way we hope they go in November, you're going to get a lot of rate cuts real quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And things are going to change on the financial landscape in this country very fast, including the Trump tax cuts being extended, obviously, if not even further greatly enhanced. But you're going to have a much weaker dollar, which is going to be great for assets, which is going to be great for a lot of people.
Right.
It will help Wall Street a lot, but it will also help Main Street. So I, just listening to everybody today, the thing that the take you have is that under Biden, things continue to get worse, will continue to get worse. And all of the thinking, engaging they're doing about where rates are going to go at the end of the year and how many rate cuts we're going to get into 2025, taking no consideration into the election, which will change every dynamic that everyone's thought of, because you've already seen these articles in the Wall Street Journal saying Trump's team, and again, this is the take that they're even slightly correct, is thinking very much about this stuff.
Right. About
where rates are, about where the dollar is, about how that's affecting people's lives, where 5.5 interest rates higher for longer. That's all going to change dramatically if he wins. So
yeah. And if you remember back in 2016, 2017, all the experts predicting, it's going to be an economic downturn. Everything's going to, the stock market is going to crash. This is going to happen because Trump, and nobody knows what he's thinking, and nobody knows what he's going to do. And even Hillary Clinton was like, it's going to kill the stock market. Well, we saw what happened. They got that wrong, too.
Well, they've been wrong on everything. They've been wrong on inflation. They've been wrong on they lie about the Trump tax cuts and who it helped. They just outwardly lie about that. There's been many studies that have looked at the Trump's tax cuts, and they've helped the people that Joe Biden is hurting the most, the people that he claims he's not hurting. If you don't make $400,000, and all the people who make less than that, who make $75,000 to $100,000, $150,000, small middle class, small middle business, those are the people that are hurting it the most. But Joe Biden and most Democrats don't understand mathematics. They don't understand economics at all. They don't understand taxes. When you hear Biden talking about these proposals for his capital gains tax, for his, they don't understand minimum wage. We've talked about that 100 times. Look what's going on in California right now.
Yeah.
So they don't understand any of it. So when they talk about it, you just shake your head. So I know we got to go here, don't we?
Yeah, we got to wrap it up for this.
That's a wrap.
All right, do it.
So, you know what? We'll take a quick break. We come back, we'll do some Slick Rick Sports. I got a couple clips I definitely want to play for you guys. And for you too, Damon, since you're here. Why not? We'll throw you in. Quick break. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there. All right, we're in the social media chat. Let's see. So, Dave, anything you want to cover? I've got some clips. I've got
do whatever you guys plan. Like I haven't really looked at much because I've been
planned.
That's so funny. He thinks we planned this. I guess we could do the. I'm wondering, should I hold the Tucker? You know what? I think I want to play the Tucker, but I also want to play the RFK on Ukraine because it's a great clip. A little long, but it's a great clip. Big eyes, but a nice fucking fish. Tell me in the chat what movie is that from? Big eyes, but a nice fish. Let's see if I can see anybody. Anybody in the Getter chat might know what that movie reference is. Oh, they can't? Forget about the Getter chat. You guys are out.
Twitter, Rumble.
So has anybody looked at this? Has anyone had a chance to look at this Anti-Semitism Awareness Act thing that passed today that half the conservatives are up in arms about, saying it?
No.
It's not a good bill when you actually read that. Like, it sounds good, the name, but when you actually look at it, it's got some terrible things in it. I haven't had a chance to look at it. I guess it passed. Anybody hear the president's speech today? Is it
no?
How
I was busy.
Has David Zier made it to Wisconsin?
No, he was desireless. Time he got there.
No, he actually did make it on the ground. He sent us a clip of talking to some of the RAV viewers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
That are fans of the show.
Oh, they knew the show right away. They had all the names. Watch every night. Oh, Rick,
really?
Slick Rick, Big D. Yeah, I got rattled off all the names. And he goes, even you.
Hey,
they said even
I'm
you.
a big fan there.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that David guy.
Of that 6B. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Wednesday night. Damon has joined us once again from the home studio, the palatial home studio with a hot tub and a little foot scrubbing thing he's got going.
Yeah.
He's probably got one of those little foot scrubber things.
He's got a humidor.
Yeah, he's got the foot thing where it scrubs your feet when you just put it in there. It's nice. It keeps you nice and relaxed.
Yep.
I got a lot of great stuff in here.
Probably got like chicken wings on tap.
Exactly.
I got my Bob Timberlake painting right over here to the right on the wall, which my wife doesn't like because it's a picture of snow and she doesn't like cold.
Yeah, you got your Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake autographed platinum album. Yeah.
On the back wall there, we saw that.
Yeah, no, it's cool. The two of you are never allowed here.
We know.
I know.
He let us there once. We left a mess. He's like, "Yeah, take the pizza home."
We were there
You're
twice.
out of there.
We did a show from there. Remember the election night when Lee Zeldin lost?
Right. Hey,
remind me.
Real quick, Damon, you were talking about California, what they're experiencing. I had the story from yesterday. I never got to. California fast food minimum wage hike is backfiring. Just 1 month in, and the consequences here are proving to be fewer hours and potentially fewer jobs for the workers. Polo West Corporation, the largest franchisee of El Pollo Loco restaurant, said that the franchises went from profitable to losing money overnight when the fast food wage hike went into effect.
Who could have seen it coming?
Yeah. In total, fast food prices have gone up more than 10% across California. Larger increases than in any other state. And it's starting to see how the minimum wage ends up backfiring on the very employees it was supposed to help benefit. So just
again, it's like the numbers work until they don't.
Yeah, and all these idiots going, yeah, we need more money. Okay, you'll get more money. By the way, you're fired because you're not worth more money.
We're out of business.
Right. So see you later. Good luck. Unbelievable. So I just thought I'd follow up because I know you mentioned that what was going on in California. That one of the big things coming out of that. But right now, let's do some sports with Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Someday, Damon's going to release those $100 gift cards. We don't know when.
It has to be. I mean, actually, it should have been today because today's the first. Aaron, are we ready to pick? Are we ready to have all the numbers? We're probably not, right?
No, tomorrow, I think.
All of the names of the people are in the inbox. I went through everything. There was 0 emails today right before the show. So it should be ready to go.
Okay.
I just don't have it numbered.
So we'll start tomorrow.
All right. So we got tomorrow and Friday to do it.
Right. All right, so we'll do that. In the meantime, make sure you use our code LFS6B at checkout at mypillow.com. Slick, what do you got?
All right, well, the ghost of Red Auerbach, it must be chomping on a cigar above the TD Garden because it looks like the Celtics are going to close out the Heat for the series. They're up by 30 with 7 minutes to go, so I think it's comfortable to say they have that game in the bag, as is the series. They will move on to the next round. The Boston Celtics looking like the team to beat right now in the NBA playoffs. Mavs and Clips, that's a 10 p.m. tip, just in about 27 minutes. And in the NHL, the Stars just won up 3-2 over the Las Vegas Golden Knights down in Dallas. That is the West first round game 5 where the series is tied. So whoever wins this game will obviously have the edge. So that's at the end of 2. I have a feeling that game may be it might be an overtime game. We'll see. Kings and Oilers 10 p.m. out west. That series, the Edmonton Oilers are looking to close out the Kings and also advance, as did the Carolina Hurricanes last night. So getting down to the wire. First round of both playoff series is coming to an end. At least by the weekend, we'll know where we stand moving forward. Major League Baseball, right now the Cubs 1-0 over the Mets. That's in the top of the 9th. Middle of the 7th, the Nationals over the Texas Rangers 1-0. And I did give you another final. Tigers over the Cardinals 4-1. Brewers beat the Rays 7-1. Brewers playing good ball. And let's see, we got the Royals over the Blue Jays 6-1. Gave you the finals on the other games earlier. This is related to sports, of course. U.S. House votes to block Biden's lead ammo ban on Tuesday. This is Orr Hawkins of Breitbart. On Tuesday, the House voted 214 to 201 to block the Biden administration's ban on the use of lead ammunition on federal lands or waters. The South Carolina Daily Gazette noted the vast majority of the votes that led to passage of the block came from Republicans, with a small number of Democrats voting to block as well. The legislation blocking the ban, H.R. 615, was sponsored by Representative Rob Whitman, Republican from Virginia. Whitman spoke on the House floor in support of the legislation, noting that much opposition is to is to come from people who neither hunt nor fish, people who have never gone hunting or fishing, don't know what the heck they're talking about. The Biden administration effort to ban lead ammo and tackle is ridiculous and isn't based on science. By protecting access for hunters and anglers, Act will ensure federal agencies don't unreasonably limit access for sportsmen and women. Republicans Vern Buchanan and Brian Fitzpatrick and Matt Gaetz voted against H.R. 615. So very interesting there. But, guns and ammo, very important to a lot of folks in the country. Certainly important to that grandma, huh? That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me see. That's a wrap in sports, Rick. Back to you.
All right. Well, thank you. And again, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's My Pillow. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Take advantage of some great deals. Save some cash. Send us the receipt that proves that you used our code at checkout. You'll get the Trump shirt. Hey, Damon, speaking of the Trump shirt, are you planning, now that it's a new month, is it going to be the same Trump shirt or is it going to be a different shirt that people
No, it's going to be different.
It's going to be different? Do we know which one?
I think we're going to go with this. I think I was just debating this today. I think we're going to go. If I could get it. God.
It's like a bath sheet. Look at the size of that thing.
Wow, that's a nice one.
Wow.
Man. Take America back. Oh, man, we need that.
That's a nice one.
That's inspirational.
How about that one?
That's an inspiration, that shirt.
And if you get that size, you could use it as a comforter for your bed.
You know.
You don't think so? That's a lot of fabric.
You probably could.
Hey, I don't know if you caught this. I mean, we were talking about the that expose that just came out from James O'Keefe and the O'Keefe Media Group. I don't know if you caught what we played, Damon. Mike Pompeo among the people withholding information, intelligence information from Donald Trump during his presidency.
Well, I mean, Pompeo directly or or people
directly.
around him?
Pompeo directly, from what I understand. Him and Gina Haspel. And then we have this. Talking about, this is from Tucker Carlson, talking to Joe Rogan about politicians and how they're compromised and how, what he has seen. Check this out for yourself. You got to hear it to believe it. Cut number 3.
Members of Congress are terrified of the intel agencies. I'm not guessing at that. They've told me that, including people on the Intel Committee, including people who run the Intel Committee, the people whose job it is to oversee and keep in line these enormous, secretive agencies whose budgets we can't even know. They're black budgets. They're the parents. The agencies are the children. They're afraid of the agencies. That's not compatible with democracy. Democracy is a really simple system, even representative democracy like ours. The people rule. They do so through elections. They express their preference through voting. They send their people to the capital city to run the government on their behalf. Whenever you have unelected people who are not accountable to anyone making the biggest decisions, you don't have a democracy. You have something else, another system. I would call it a tyranny or whatever you want to call it. It's not a democracy. So that's like super obvious. It's playing out in front of everyone and no one cares and no one does anything about it. And I think the reason is because they're threatened. And if you look at the committee chairmen who allow this to happen year after year, they're all, and I don't know, people say, oh, they're compromised or being blackmailed or whatever. I don't have evidence of that, but I know them, and they all have things to hide. I know that for a fact. And so it's not a stretch of imagination to imagine that, some committee chairman who's allowing warrantless spying on Americans to continue or whatever abuse they're allowing, knowing fully or hiding the truth about UAPs, ignoring the UAP Disclosure Act of 2023. Like, why are they doing that? It's not impossible to imagine that some guy with a drinking problem or a weird sex life, and that's very common up there, that's why they're doing it. Because they don't want to be exposed. I don't have evidence of that. I don't have proof of that.
Right.
But that's not a crazy thing to assume that could be happening. And I said to somebody, a very powerful person, the other day in a conversation in my kitchen, an elected official, holds a really senior position, a very famous person. I was going crazy. I was so mad about all this stuff and about the warrantless spying and about the funding for these insane wars. And I said to the guy who serves in one of the legislative bodies, I got so mad my dogs were afraid. They're like, well, why are you yelling? Because I don't yell at home. But I was like, all these people are controlled. They're all, got weird sex lives and all these things are hiding and they're being blackmailed by the intel agencies. And he said, and I'm quoting, I know. Wow. It was like, okay, so at this point we're just sort of We're just sort of admitting that's real. Like, why do we allow that to continue?
Yeah. It's just insanity when you think about it. And then of course, like I mentioned, that the clip we played earlier from James O'Keefe exposing, the director of the CIA and Mike Pompeo, people that report to the president, and the people that work for these people that report to the president, all deciding we have a different agenda. We'll tell you what we're going to do. It's on a need-to-know basis for you, basically, is what they're saying. You're not that important. We're the elite class, unelected. We're going to be here after you're gone, so we don't care. I feel like that's kind of what's being exposed here more on a regular basis. What about you?
Or who are they protecting?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just reading some of this as you're talking about it because I'm getting caught up on that. That's in fact Pompeo directly and Gina Haspel directly.
Yeah.
Now Pompeo didn't he get caught trying to plan to assassinate Julian Assange too?
I believe there's a story about that. I don't know if it was confirmed, but you know what? That's not so crazy to believe now.
I mean, just hearing it for the first time, it's pretty outrageous. And you have to the first thing that comes to my mind is, who are they protecting? If you're keeping information from the commander in chief, you're the director of the CIA. I mean, I don't know who's more powerful than the commander in chief, but if it's somebody that the intel agencies thinks is a threat to release, they saying from the little that I'm reading that it was they're withholding information from him while he was in office because they were afraid he was leak it to the public, or
right, yeah.
What's the excuse?
That was the excuse. Oh, well, he's going to tell everybody. Tell everybody what? He really doesn't tell anybody anything. But they use that as this excuse to say, well, it's for the good of the country. Oh, we're doing it for your own good, for your own safety. It's for your own safety, so you'll actually end up losing your liberty for more safety, but you'll be rewarded with none of it. And then you've got a president who doesn't have the all the information, really, when you stop and think about it, that he needs to make the right calls. And to know that, hey, you know what? These people are compromised. We need to get rid of them. I think that's probably, once November comes along and, knock on wood somewhere, that President Trump wins, he's got to get rid of these people. And he's got to get rid of layers of management, because that's the way they think. These are the people that don't care because they've already they believe they're bigger and better than everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So they think, well, I'm never going to lose my job.
Bulletproof.
I'm here. Right. You guys are going to be replaced every few years. We're going to be here. So we're the ones actually in charge.
Yeah.
That's the kind of mentality needs to be removed.
I mean, Pompeo goes on all these shows all the time. Why doesn't someone now just let's see if he still goes on? Who's going to have the guts to just flat out ask him?
Yeah.
See what he says. Just ask him. Are you a treasonous traitor like most of these people around him ended up being, or not?
That's a great question. Maybe you do need to be in the White House press briefing.
Oh, God. That'd be priceless.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Man, one more segment to go on a Wednesday night, live from Studio 6B. Real America's Voice. We'll finish up with some sports and some other great clips. Stay there. That's the only thing I think of.
Right?
Yeah.
Swear to God.
You got another thing coming.
You got another thing coming. So it reminds you of.
Come out!
The name of that track is Balls of Steel.
Sounds like you got another thing coming. Who was that? Motley Crue or AC/DC?
No.
That was who?
That was oh my God! I just had it and it just ran out of my head.
That's exactly right. Oh, it wasn't
no, it was
the Good Rats? No.
No, the guy with the leather. Bald guy.
Oh, bald guy.
Bald guy, leather.
Oh,
turns out.
Yeah, began with was it I? Was it
Oh my
Bald
God.
guy in leather?
Yes.
Chuck Todd.
No.
No.
The other guy.
Someone said, love to see Big D in the White House
Judas
press
Priest.
corps. Yeah,
That's it.
That would not
Good,
go
very
well.
Good. Very good.
Judas Priest.
Judas
That's what
Priest.
it was.
He was a character.
Man. And then I was playing. You know what I was playing earlier, Damon? You would have loved this. You probably would have hated it, actually. Total Recallin'. The song about Total Recall. I'll play a little bit for you.
You lost him.
Yeah, you lost me.
Oh, that's Tom Petty. Is that a State Farm commercial? Oh.
Wait. Isn't that great?
Delgado, if I'm supposed to hear something, I don't hear it. I don't know what you're doing. Free falling?
Total Recall.
Sounds drunk.
Total Recall. I put it on my X account. You can check it out there.
I'll run right over.
It's fun. It's been in my head all day. Recall. One of the greatest movies ever made.
Who's excited about Harry on the Highway tomorrow night?
Oh, that's right. Is that going to start right at the top of the show?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
He's so excited. He said he'd be here early tomorrow.
Wow. Is he going to get warmed up? Is he going to practice fake calls?
He's getting here at like 3 in the afternoon.
He's going to practice fake calls to get warmed up. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Wednesday night. Final segment of the show. Man, it has flown by very quickly. Slick Rick has been here the entire time. Damon joined us at the top of hour number 2. Yeah. And, we got one more quick sports break before we get wrapping up on the evening. What else did you notice out there today, Damon, that caught your attention?
I'm going to be honest. I didn't have time to notice a lot. I guess the thing I noticed was this anti-Semitism bill that was passed, but seemed like half the conservatives I follow were not big fans of it because there was other things in there, including Thomas Massey, MTG, Matt Gaetz. My friend Michael Knowles was railing on it. A lot of other conservative voices were railing on it, saying, yes, everybody is all for an anti-Semitism bill, but that this is not. This is thrown together. It's not thought well through. It's not in line with the Constitution. It's got all kinds of other issues. The Speaker Johnson is trying to use it to weasel other things into the bill. So I haven't had a chance to really. I know it ended up passing, and then I see Levin congratulating the congressman who I guess put the bill together. So he, I guess, likes it. So it's just confusing when people the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act passes the U.S. House of Representatives 320 to 91. Yeah, so I mean, besides the Fed today, which I spent a lot of time on, really trying to listen and dissect where I think the economy is, because we've been talking about things on this show for a lot longer than I think. I mean, we could go back and look at the tape. How long ago were we talking about when I hear people say the consumer is holding up?
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, what are they talking about? We've been talking about this for maybe over a year. Credit card bill. I mean, just look. If you can look at our own data from Fred, credit card bills way up, arced up like this, savings way down. How could the consumer be holding up? Well, of course, now you're saying Starbucks earnings absolutely terrible. People are not spending the money on foo-foo coffee drinks.
No. Yeah,
McDonald's.
They can't afford it.
Yeah, right. All of these things you're saying now, and so now it's like, oh, the consumer may not be holding up. They haven't been holding up for a long, long time. The majority of consumers have not been holding up for a very long time. So I spent a lot of time with that today, trying to figure out where I think we go next. And then I saw this. But other than that, I mean, obviously with my son's thing tonight, I didn't see a ton.
Yeah, between that and I think the expanded, I don't know if you saw some of the other colleges like Fordham that is now, being inundated with the protesters. Ben Berquam was there earlier. We played his clip exposing these people. The protesters that set up inside the building because they don't want to be outside. It might get cold or it might get wet. They want to be inside the building with their tents.
Oh, yes.
Well, they were tentative.
The Jew-hating agitators all have demands. I get it. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, the only thing that I saw that could be, you could consider it a positive. You got to look at who you're aligning with on some of these things. But there was a little, kumbaya moment, I will say, if you want to call it that. I'm not condoning it. At
University of Alabama.
Yes, at the University of Alabama, where both sides of an opposing viewpoint came together on one issue that they seem to be pretty lockstep in. This is cut number 10. Check it out for yourself. Yes. Trump voters and Palestinian protesters aligning in the F. Joe Biden chant.
Well, Joe did say he'd bring the country together, so there you go.
Exactly. So we did, if you call that a positive, I don't know, you can rely on that. I don't know if you saw this story also coming out of South Carolina, where they're now actively investigating audit state rolls, looking for illegal voters, as non-citizens have been notified, or they're notifying people that they're receiving voter registration forms in South Carolina. The South Carolina governor is calling for an investigation. The lawmakers are calling for investigation, including the state legislature, as to why they're seeing that these people are receiving voter registration forms to fill out when they're non-citizens. And this is just breaking from this afternoon as well. Is the federal government giving voter registration forms to non-citizens? According to this, yes, at least in South Carolina. A refugee sent in this form that was given to her in a packet at the Social Security office in Spartanburg. She asked, why are they giving these to non-citizens? Exactly. So, I think we see, one of the tactics the left is going to use, Democrats are going to try to use to steal another election. Good thing is it's going to get exposed. It's getting exposed, at least. Let's hope something comes of it. Let's do one more sports hit with Slick Rick before we call it a night. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Slick, what do you got?
Oh, it's all over in Boston. No surprise there. The Celtics over the Heat 118-84. Game 5 that Boston takes the series 4-1 at Jaylen Brown for the Boston Celtics. 25 points tonight. I mean, once Jimmy Butler was out for the Heat, it really was going to be a tough road to hoe for them. So they're gone. Mavs and Clips coming up just in a few minutes. That tip-off. And Golden Knights, well, they're trying to catch the Stars. Stars are holding on 3-2. 9 minutes to go in the third. That is first round NHL playoffs. That series tied at 2. So Edmonton Oilers playing on 10 o'clock. They're hosting the Kings, so should be a good game as well. One quick story. Talk about a fishing expedition. Dolphins owner turns down multi-billion-dollar offer for control of the team. Michael Gallagher of Yardbarker. Miami Dolphins owner Stephen Ross recently got an offer that most would have a hard time turning down. Ross passed on a $10 billion offer for control of the Dolphins, Hard Rock Stadium, and the Formula One Miami Grand Prix from billionaire Ken Griffin, the CEO of multinational hedge fund Citadel LLC, according to USA Today. The outlet notes that the 83-year-old owner would prefer to keep the properties in his family. The Dolphins are currently valued at $5.7 billion, the 11th highest valuation of the NFL. And these guys want stadiums built on taxpayers' backs. So that's a wrap in sports. I'll leave it at that. Rick, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Slick. And again, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Use our code at checkout, LFS6B. Damon, you got anything for us before we wrap it up?
I mean, I'm just looking at a couple of things. Byron York tonight says President Trump's speeches today were very disciplined. He said quite disciplined, focused on Biden, focused on the economy, inflation. just speculating here, but perhaps being trapped in this New York courtroom is made for greater focus. So sounds like the president was pretty focused on, again, we've talked about this. If you want to break it down to an easy message to the American people, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? There's not a single person who can answer yes if they're being truthful.
Yeah.
So if that's a message he's focused on, that's a message he should continue to focus on. Other than that, I just saw something that the CDC found evidence that COVID-19 vaccines cause death. Hey, hello. Welcome to 3 years ago.
No.
And I'm just trying to, this anti-Semitism bill, I don't know how much time we have, but even Charlie Kirk says it's patently insane for House Republicans to insert themselves into the mayhem engulfing college campuses. Do not interrupt your enemies when they're making mistakes. Instead of passing anti-free speech laws that trample on the First Amendment or inserting themselves behind a podium at Columbia, just allow the left to continue to embarrass themselves. Matt Walsh said the vast majority of Republicans just voted for a bill to criminalize criticisms of the Israeli government. If the bill passes, you will be guilty of hate speech if you apply double standards to the government of Israel or accuse it of genocide. He said this is honestly one of the most insane pieces of legislation I've ever seen. Why are the Republicans voting for this? And of course they did.
It's probably
so I don't know. I got to spend some more time with it.
It probably has a nice name, so they didn't even bother reading it. They just went with, it sounds good, so we should go with it. Yeah, exactly. All right. Thank you for watching. As always, we salute our military, active and retired, our first responders, EMTs, firefighters, police, border patrol, everybody working the front lines, the plumbers, the electricians, the steam fitters, you name it. Thank you for making our lives that much easier. Truck drivers, you too. Fran and Aaron in the booth, Damon at home, Slick Rick here with the boot, and of course you guys in all the chats and watching at home. Thank you so much for watching on a Wednesday night. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll do it all over again live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Peace.